Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka Q&T. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. And if you do find any of the information in this video valuable, useful, or interesting in any sort of way possible, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. So with that being said, I do want to talk to you guys about quite a bit of things. So first off, of course, we're going to be addressing a little bit of some Bitcoin action, some things to watch for, of course, today that I've talked to you guys a little bit about my HBAR video and even my XRP video from earlier today. But of course, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about quants specifically. I also will be tying in XRP to this video and really kind of addressing XRP and Q&T's relationship in a further way, because I didn't do a breakdown of that, and I figured I would do a breakdown of it, but also kind of incorporate some other things that are quant related. So, you know, definitely look forward to that. A lot of it's going to be in this video, so if you guys are an XRP fan or maybe you're not a Ripple fan, then this is probably the point where you want to kind of exit this video if you wanted to. But of course, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about Q&T or quant. So of course, we're sitting at about $108, almost $109. We still have some significant levels to, you know, break until we do get even a little bit bullish on, you know, Q&T. Like, for an example, to really kind of reiterate what I was saying earlier in terms of Bitcoin, you know, we want to close above, you know, 39.7, almost 39.8K. We need a lot more volume for this to happen. We need a lot more strength as well to really kind of push us above those levels. And I told you guys to watch the three major indices, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and of course the Dow Jones. And I kind of even talked a little bit about the Dow Jones and where we really kind of want to see it for, you know, the major impulsive wave on crypto. I think that it's going to push the crypto wave all the way up to around some, you know, numbers of like 100K plus on Bitcoin. And of course, a lot of those, you know, major bullish fractals that a lot of individuals have been talking about, you know, 180K, 200K, and stuff like that, most likely will come true if we do get that last major impulse even on the Dow Jones, before, of course, the Dow Jones has that major recorrective state where, of course, we do crash from, you know, inflation rates and things like that, you know, being burnt out, if you will. But of course, you know, in terms of Q&T, you know, we are still watching that $118 level before we even get a little bit bullish on Q&T's price action. I still think that we could see the bottom figures of my demand zone, which is around like the $73 level. Of course, you know, if these levels are not met, I think that we could even see lower, by the way, like $54 if we do come down as low as the July 19th move. But again, if we don't see these bottom figures here, it's totally fine with me. I'm not going to be too concerned at all. I'm going off the major, you know, support zones, which is like around $70 realistically speaking on the weekly. But you know, even if these levels don't get hit, I'm totally fine buying around this level at around like, you know, $94 for an example. I think that that is a major level for us to really kind of buy it, as you guys do see the major support here. And of course, that is the support that we ranged on in terms of the week of July 26th. But I do want to talk to you guys about a lot of things on why I do feel comfortable buying Q&T even around like $100. And of course, I've always talked to you guys about Q&T's price action and where I really do see it in the long-term growth span that a lot of individuals kind of laugh at, make jokes about, which is totally fine. I mean, they can if you want, but you know, again, I have a lot of plans for Q&T. I have, you know, a lot of ideas around where Q&T really kind of plays within this major system. And I know a lot of individuals continue to laugh at Q&T just because it's utilized for fees and things like that. But there's so much more being utilized from Q&T's, you know, token standard side of things than a lot of individuals are kind of looking at. But of course, we do see here Q&T. Here is the major update. So first off, you know, LacNet, so this is their major network in terms of LAC chain, if you will. But we do see here, you know, get to know the LacNet, first enterprise multi-purpose public permissioned blockchain network in production, resulting from the alliance between Red Clara and LacNet in collaboration with IDB Lab under the framework of the Global Alliance LAC chain. And we do see here, we made it. It has been 3 years of a very hard work in the LAC chain ecosystem led by the IDB Lab in collaboration with 60 partners. And I already talked about a lot of this yesterday, but there's a lot of connections here with Quant and things like that. Of course, when enterprise blockchain momentum grows and a few blockchain frameworks rise to the top, enterprises care more about cross-ledger interoperability. Startup Quant Network's Overledger interoperability solution was certified with OCI blockchain platform and used to demonstrate token swap between OBP fungible tokens and ERC20 coins on Ethereum using the common hash time locked contract method. And of course, when we are talking about this, QNT has been tested. QNT has been tested to its fullest extent. Funny thing about LacNet is we do see here, be part of the smart internet for inclusion in Latin America and the Caribbean, a blockchain infrastructure designed to enable inclusive and scalable projects and solutions on Web3. Again, we do see some of the funding partners here, as you guys can, look into some of these, names if you want. But we do see here our differentiators, orchestration of infrastructure, of blockchain networks, decentralized nature, neutrality, security, and warranty. And you could read all about some of this stuff if you guys do want to. But the funny thing is that this, in terms of LacNet, they do have some projects that they are already building, and a lot of these are, of course, for financial inclusion and stuff like that. You can look at all of these, if you want to. I'm more so focused on, of course, cross-border payments. I think that is the big area of expertise, especially in terms of tokenized money, and of course, that's where a lot of the blockchain, I would say assets come into play here. Of course, you do see, entities involved, IDB, Citibank, IO Builders as well. IO Builders actually just announced working with Hedera Hashgraph as well. But we do see here it consists of blockchain-based solution for making cross-border payments to people in the Dominican Republic, which has the potential to scale to other countries through the use of blockchain. Transparency and traceability are provided to cross-border transactions. Also, fees and times are reduced compared to using SWIFT and other payment networks. Now, of course, they are achieving this through something like a DLT, if you will. But of course, it does need interoperability. And how are they going to achieve interoperability? Well, of course, LAC Chain is already partnered with Quant, so LacNet will be utilizing Quant for this. And also, talking about Quant, we do see here in less than a week, 1,000 developers have signed up to our blockchain course with King's College London. I get started today to build an empowered, interconnected world. Best part about this is, again, they're trying to empower 27 million developers to become certified blockchain experts. The funny thing is that, what they are focused on here are some pretty big subjects. For an example, we do see here, how to interact with multiple distributed ledger technologies, specifically Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP ledgers, how to connect with multiple, DOT networks, how to read blocks, transactions, and state information from DOT networks, and how to add new transactions to these DOT networks as well. All of this is focused on continuing to build out, of course, the future of, payments, if you will, the future of, finance. I've always talked to you guys about distributed ledger technology and how it is slowly but surely becoming the new system for finance and really kind of replacing the SWIFT network, if you will. The only reason why I say replacing it is just because I don't think that it's going to kill the SWIFT network. I think that SWIFT's always going to be around. I just think that we're going to usurp a ton of volume from SWIFT through things like these DLT networks, which will ultimately run on Quant's DLN. Now, we do see here, going back to June 2nd, 2019, interoperability is the key to unlocking the network of networks. Now, this is talking about, of course, APIs, interoperability in general through, of course, even for an example, Interledger Protocol, which is, of course, Ripple's main choice. This is basically what they have built. Interledger Protocol is definitely something significant, but I just don't think that it's going to be, utilized the way that they properly wanted it to be. Like, for an example, Interledger Protocol, they want to basically have all of these major payment providers sign on to Interledger Protocol to utilize it. That way they do build, that interoperability bridge between them. I just don't think that Interledger Protocol is going to be utilized the way that they properly want it, and I think that that is exactly what they've seen, and I think that that is exactly why they are partnering with Quant on a lot of things. For an example, we go back here to October, where Ripple became part of the Digital Pound Foundation. Of course, this was working with Quant as well. And when we are talking about this is also focusing on CBDCs. Of course, the members included Accenture, Avalanche, Billion Group, CGI, Electronium, and Quant. And like I said, when we're talking about Quant and, of course, Ripple, I definitely think that they are tied directly to one another, with Quant being, of course, the interoperability powerhouse, and of course Ripple having ODL volume and things like that, but also the XRP ledger to have those private CBDCs being issued on there for for, of course, central bank control. And of course, we do see interoperability will determine CBDC winners and losers. This goes back to September of 2020. When we are talking about those gaps, those bridges are not easily built, and that is exactly why when we are talking about, for example, they see, or I shouldn't say they say Ripple's global payments network, RippleNet, is built on open interoperable protocols designed to enable value transfer across multiple networks by defining how simple functions provided by individual networks should work together. The funny thing about that is they still need to have that interconnectivity between legacy networks and digital networks, and they still don't have that. That is exactly why they're trying to onboard as many payment providers as they possibly can to Interledger protocol, but with Quant, they don't need to. Quant is already connecting these major legacy platforms to DLT platforms. This is exactly why XRP, or Ripple I should say, is working with Quant so that they could utilize XRP properly, which is of course, the way that it makes these major payments faster, less costly, and more scalable in general, which is of course you do see here. And I also mentioned this even in my XRP video from earlier today. The system is being built, and even when we are talking about interoperability, like I said, it is definitely something to continue to look at, because it is a spotlighted problem and necessity for, of course, CBDCs and the future of these major payment platforms. I mean, even Quant says this, realistically speaking, on their website in terms of their solutions. Here's Overledger for Ripple. Who is it for? Companies and developers that want to create apps which use, the Ripple network. How does it work? And of course, this is so that they can cut out the idea of like interfaces, formats, cryptography, and things like that. That is a little bit complex for a lot of individuals that are out there trying to build apps and create apps and things like that. And of course, this is, providing that standard API gateway, if you will, for Ripple, which allows of course their customers to utilize this technology. And of course, we do see why Ripple is typically used for cross-border payments and movement of funds. It is also used for other use cases, but is primarily a financial network. So of course, they see the value behind Ripple being a financial network. They also see the strides that Ripple has been making in the past couple of years. So of course, they want to be able to have that Overledger provided for Ripple, which of course will allow interconnectivity between, of course, the legacy network and of course this future financial network, able to facilitate and move messages and value across one another. And of course, we do see here, interoperability must be a priority for building Web3 in 2020 as well, or 2022, sorry. When we are talking about Web3, yes, Web3 is huge, but again, all of these major updates within this area, like dApps, Web3 in general, we're talking about everything, right? Everything that is within crypto. Everyone loves to talk about the metaverse, NFTs, and stuff like that, but the major challenges of being able to have that interoperability within this area, and that is exactly why I do invest into Q&T, because API gateways are so much bigger than oracles and things like that. Like, everyone always brings up Chainlink or Cosmos and stuff like that, and it's the idea that Quant is solving these major key problems. It's already here, and Quant, in terms of its API gateway, is a lot better than an Oracle system and things like that, which I've already discussed to you guys about. Like, I wouldn't say that was back in December when I made that video, but I've talked to you guys about it in the past. And when we're talking about API gateways, comparing it to anything else, Quant already has this patent, and this is exactly why I do believe in Quant. This is also why I put a lot of money into my Q&T holdings, because I do know in time these are going to pay dividends. And also, last but not least, to really kind of wrap up this video, this goes back to 2019. We do know that, of course, Quant has major ties to Ripple in the past, and of course, we already know that they are they're both working together, and this should solidify that. We agree with Ripple CTO Joel Katz that an interoperability project that only connects blockchains together is not going to be enough, and this is exactly why I've told you guys that Cosmos is really nothing compared to Quant. We need to connect all networks together, hence why we developed Overledger, and this is exactly why I want you to all pay attention to Quant if you are an XRP holder, because Quant sees the value behind Ripple. Ripple sees the value behind Quant. This is exactly why they are working with one another in terms of the Digital Euro Association and even the Digital Pound Foundation. These foundations for the future financial system are already being laid and they are already being built, and I want you to all understand what is happening. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick, and with that being said, peace out, guys.